Who has not heard the stories about the rise of the purple phoenix, who rises from the ashes and becomes one of the most powerful countries in the world again? We talk about Goslar. Did you ever heard about Goslar? Goslar is in the middle of Germany of the Holy Roman Empire, and I think one of the least played nations in Europa Universalis 4. And I cannot understand why. Goslar, as a one province minor, has the advantage of being a free city. As a free city, we start as a republic. We have minus 20% dev cost reduction, 10% trade efficiency, and one diplomatic relation. This is an amazing government reform that only 12 cities in the beginning of the game have. On top, Goslar has a unique set of ideas. We start with 10% dev cost reduction on day 1, plus 20% from free city, so we have 30% dev count reduction on day 1. Because we are a republic, we can start with an awesome ruler. So my guy is a 534. This is really amazing. Does it not sound really good for the rise for Purple Phoenix? I don't know if you have realized. There are many countries who can form Prussia. But do you know that Goslar can form Saxony first, if Saxony is not existing, and furthermore can reform into Prussia when we have all kind of provinces? Guys, I think this is an awesome goal for this mission. We will form Saxony, we will conquer Brandenburg, and furthermore we reform into Prussia to become a Prussian Republic. So how does our adventure start? First of all, we need to find allies. First of all, it will be Brandenburg. Second, we need to make sure that we grow, and we want to grow fast. And we want to stick around with the Free Republic a little bit more. So we will try to get Magdeburg as a vassal. So for that we build up a spy network to get a first claim on Halle. Additionally, we need to manage the estates. For the estates, we can give out all kind of privileges. We give out religious state. We can give out the clerical advisory council, and furthermore religious diplomats. Regarding the nobility, we give out the primacy of the nobility, increased levies, aristocratic councillors. That's it for now. For the burghers, we give out land of commerce, patronage of the arts, commercial advisory board, and we take all the kind of burghers loans indebted to the burghers. What you need to be careful with as Goslar, because you are a free city and a republic, it's very easy to get too much influence and not enough equilibrium. So there could be a rise of the burghers, so please be careful with that. Afterwards, of course, we summon a diet, pick whatever kind of mission you like. I will just pick this development mission, and then we seize land. Next thing, we do something very stupid. We deleted our army, and we will hire the Free City Company and the Free Company. That are two mercenary companies, and we will be with that one above force limit. But this is not so important for us, because these kind of companies are really cheap. It's time to set rivals. For sure, we will set Magdeburg, Anhalt, and the third rival will be Saxony. Our hope is that Magdeburg, who is rival to Brandenburg, who is allied to us, is teaming up with Saxony. Though in our first war we could do two things. We could vassalize Magdeburg and we could humiliate Saxony. This would be a really awesome game if it will work out like that. EU4 is a sandbox game. This kind of start that I show you right now could be different in your case. It could be that Magdeburg is immediately joining up with a strong enemy like Denmark and so on, and it will be impossible. So I just picked Magdeburg because I think they are the weakest one here. If Magdeburg is not working out, there's additionally Brunswick. And if Brunswick is not working out, maybe you have to aim for Saxony instead. So there are multiple options that you can go for. Most important thing is you need to vassalize your first enemy because we want to stay a little bit longer a free city. Don't forget, pick more alliances. In the long run, we maybe need some more electors on our side, though that's why I think Cologne could be a very good option. So now we are set up, we have already 3 alliances, and one of it will be a vassal in the future, and one we need to keep free for Austria. Though in the long run, we need to improve relations with Austria too. But right now, it's not important, we are way too small, Austria will not ally us. So now let's see if Magdeburg is allying any one of the strong ones, and we try to declare war as soon as possible against them. So let's fast forward to a possibility where we can attack Magdeburg. We are now here on the 1st of May 1446. I found 2 more allies, and these allies are totally random picked. On the one side, Munich asked me, hey, can we ally you? I said yes, and Mainz on top of that was asking for the same thing. Okay, I mentioned, why not? Let's ally them. So now let's go for Magdeburg. Magdeburg, as promised, is allied to Saxony because we rival Saxony. Saxony is rivaling Brandenburg, and Brandenburg is allied to us. So it's basically some kind of triangle. What we will do now is we attack Magdeburg. We already hired one kind of military advisor. You can pay for it. Goslar is not that poor. And we have for now some kind of military advantage because we have more troops. And with 1.34, even if the nations are not close around, somehow everyone tries and wants to join in our battles, even if we cannot give them provinces. So I really do love that because it's only 2 years in the game. So now we call in all our friends and we really will overwhelm the enemy. Really important in the first war, always get the capital. Because if you get the capital, you can vassalize them. So now let's beat down Magdeburg. And the Brandenburgian troops are really need to help. I really do enjoy that. Now go furthermore and occupy both territories, and then we go and fight and beat down Saxony. I fast forwarded just for a single year. In your game, as mentioned, it could be a different opponent. We just are ready to vassalize Magdeburg. We will peace out Saxony separately because we want to declare war against them as soon as possible. So just peace them out for now. The humiliation war is coming. So now we will do Magdeburg and vassalize them, get all the kind of money. They will be disloyal in the beginning because just on a troop level we are way weaker than them. So that's why don't forget to improve relations with them as fast as possible. And one more little advice, because one of our next goals would be Anhalt. And Anhalt is again allied to Saxony, and when we fight Anhalt we will be way stronger. Don't forget to set this kind of province as area of interest, because in that way Magdeburg will get a claim on Anhalt. Very soon you will be able to pick your first government reform. At the first government reform, your main goal is in the beginning to stay a republic. So I can only say take this idea that increases your republic condition. Very, very important. Additionally, you maybe have realized that as Goslar, you have maybe a good starting Bürgermeister, a good mayor. You will be up front in technology all the time. Only 1 year later, Magdeburg is now loyal to us, and they have built a claim on Anhalt. This is our chance to attack Anhalt. Again, guys, Anhalt could be part of a trade league like Lübeck. If you don't see a possibility to attack them, maybe go for Brunswick. Maybe that is a better option. It's a sandbox game, every game is different. For now, we will attack Anhalt, we will call in again our allies, beat them up, and then we continue with Brunswick. As you could see, my allies did a very good job. They sieged down all the kind of other stuff, and my mercenaries are slacking around in the capital. So now it's time to peace out Brunswick. For Brunswick, we just humiliate them and we take all the world and we transfer trade, because Brunswick is in the same trade node as us. So if they share us trade, we get more money inside of the Saxony trade area. We do vassalize Anhalt. With that, almost everything of the Saxony-Anhalt area is under our control. Now we have two vassals. It's very important to give out the next estate power. It's strong duchies, and with the strong duchies we can keep our allies in check. In the meantime, as you have seen, I'm already building up a spy network. The Magdeburg already put a claim on Saxony. We will do that too, and we will grow our area into the Saxony area. You will have a lot of points left over. Though with this 30% development cost reduction, it's a very good idea to encourage development for 40%, right? 40%, guys, and if burghers are loyal, with 60% you can have 40%, 50% already at this kind of state of the game. This is pretty good. When Renaissance is spawned, like it did in my case, spawned in Rome, you can dev it just up and we will just enjoy it. As promised, we pushed all our mana points into development, and Goslar is now with 32 development one of the biggest cities within Europe. I would say maybe even the biggest. Who has more developments than Goslar? Even Constantinople has only 31, though we beat everyone by miles. Because of that, we have the Renaissance. With Renaissance, one thing what is really important, you can share it afterwards. In the meantime, don't forget to build up claims. I have continued building a claim here on Saxony. I'm continuing building up relations with Austria. I hope there's soon the chance that they will ally us. Then we try to even get more claims on this area. The most important event within the HRE in the first 40 years is the Burgundian inheritance. In this game, something really awkward happened. The Pfalz, who was allied to Burgundy and of course were married, inherited Burgundy. Luckily it happened. The Burgundy is split up into all the kind of minor princes and estates. So now Austria gets plus 0.2 imperial authority, and as you can see, almost everything is under control. Only a little area, the Schleswig-Holstein area, is under control of Denmark, but this will change sooner or later. By the way, this is not my war. I'm just helping out Brandenburg, who wants to have more territory from Wolgast. What they do not know, I'm occupying it because I want a weak Brandenburg and not a strong Brandenburg. And don't forget, always re-elect your starting Bürgermeister. I know mine is already 65, very old, but I don't care. I will re-elect him until he dies. I will re-elect him into his graveyard. A few moments later, you will have the chance to select your first idea group. I know we want to become Prussia, but because we play a role-playing Prussian Republic, we will start, of course, selecting plutocratic. Plutocratic isn't that bad. It has moral, it has a merchant, it has goods produce and death cost reduction. amazing ideas. Furthermore, 20% manpower recovery speed. I think these kind of ideas are really good and makes a very strong and supportive idea set for Prussia. It's not the best pick, but we want to have some fun. So plutocratic is my first pick. Sooner or later, there's a point where you have to say goodbye to be a free city. After we've vassalized Magdeburg, of course we need to get this territory, though we need to annex them. Second idea group, because we want to have strong rulers all the time, go for frequent elections. Faster elections means your ruler, if he dies, will become a 114, and you want that he's become faster a 666. Furthermore, it's time to declare war against Saxony. When you want to vassalize someone, it doesn't matter what your other partners in war get for kind of territory. As long as you have the capital, everything is good. So we go for the capital now. We are integrating Magdeburg. One little advice: when you integrate a vassal, 1 month before it finishes, give out the integration policy, nobility integration policy, because it will save you from the -3 dip rep. Buy to a free city. Goslar no longer a free city. For now, until we become a Prussian Republic, we just stay a normal oligarchy. My war with Saxony came to an end, and as you can still see, I'm improving relations with Austria. We will soon need that because we want to replace Saxony as an elector, vassalize them. Furthermore, it's time to look outwards in this territory. There are multiple ways to expand now. A, we want to expand in the Brandenburg area. B, we want to get all this kind of territory here in Bohemia. So set them as areas of interest. As mentioned, I fast forwarded a little bit. We attacked Bohemia, and actually it was a very easy war. We gave this kind of territory here to Saxony, and the next goal will be that we get these kind of 3 other territories. We will start developing our lands. So hand out the encourage development edict and develop here like crazy. Don't forget, if you have a trade center here like this one, bump it first up to level 2 because it gives us -5% development cost. Consolidating your territory is very important, and maybe you have already seen it. We did not took economics, we took espionage as a second idea, because espionage gives us a possibility with lesser aggressive expansion inside of the HRE. A very important moment I would like to share with you. You maybe remember that 20 years ago we allied Austria. We helped them with their wars and we carried favors. These kind of favors we translated into trust. Espionage is helping us getting favors much faster than usual, thanks to blackmailing. Now we have 80 trust with them, and that allows us to request the electorate from Austria. Thanks to that, the emperor accepts, splendid, and the Purple Phoenix is now actually an elector. Our first step is done. Now we will start integrating Saxony because we don't need them anymore. We just wanted to have the electorate, and now we will get their mission trees, and afterwards we continue expanding. So you see, I'm almost done with the annexation of Saxony, and when that happens, you have the possibility to form Saxony. Right now we don't have any kind of mission tree. We still have the Goslar ideas, but when we form Saxony, they're asking us, do you want to keep your new traditions, or do you want to keep the old ones? So my personal pick is, because I like the Goslar ideas a lot, no, we cannot abandon our roots. But with that, we still have the nice group, the nice mission tree from Saxony. Furthermore, because we are now more than 300 development, I can become a kingdom. You can use now the Saxon mission tree to expand further. So it's very easy to expand with the Saxon mission tree, but our goal is to become Prussia. So what we will do now is we will try to get this kind of territory thanks to our espionage ideas. We can put there easily claims on, and afterwards maybe we find a way to even get rid of Poland and get all the kind of territories 40 years later. Now what we will do now is we can reform into Prussia. Goslar into Saxony, Saxony into Prussia. Though this is basically a two-country transition. As Prussia, of course, we want to have the awesome ideas. Yes, please. And we get the Prussian mission tree that gives us way more options and claims. And as you could see, we have the ability, we are a Junker Stratocracy. So we have the ability of Prussia and the militarization ability. We are a Prussian Republic. How to continue from here on now with the Republican Prussia? Well, you know, Prussia is the strongest nation military-wise. I know we start with plutocracy, but you can now get quality ideas, and if you're really eager, you can still get innovative and build the Prussian Space Marines. Or you could change now into a kingdom and become the ruler of the HRE. Or if you're really eager, you can stay a republic and form a democratic Germany. Everything is possible with Prussia. Don't forget, biggest disadvantage of Prussia is governing capacity. Prussia gets a huge debuff here because it's a strong country. Don't forget to build courthouses. Courthouses are now actually a free building slot in each kind of province. So make sure that you always build it. It keeps your governing capacity low. Right, guys, we are done here with Prussia. The purple phoenix rises from Goslar to Prussia. So summarizing again how you should start. You should look for vassalizing your neighbors. The Brandenburg area is a very good option. If that is not possible in your game, go to the Brunswick area, go to the Thuringian area. You could even steal from Saxony, Thuringia. That is possible too. Look for allies who are supporting you. Try to ally Austria as soon as possible to get the nice buff from the mission tree. Mix up espionage idea with putting a lot of claims here in this kind of territory. After you have found good allies, make sure that you expand into the HRE carefully, because aggressive expansion is normally sky high. Talking about the ideas, we will not build the Prussian Space Marines from day one. We are more interested in Republican values and virtues. That's why we start with plutocratic, mix it up with espionage, what gives us, by the way, 33% manpower. I have 105k now, and I have not many provinces. Mix it up with economic to keep the Republican tradition high. This combined with espionage gives us additionally one more diplomat, very good for building claims and very good for improving relations. Government reforms. In the beginning, you start as a free city. I switched already after 10 years from a free city to an oligarchy. You do not need that. you can stay longer a free city. You can develop your vassals to keep them loyal. Second idea group, always go for republicanism. This plus 0.2 will help you to keep the rulers in check and make everything easier. Third idea, go for frequent elections to make sure that if your ruler dies, that you get him soon back to normal level. Tier 4, there are actually two good options. One is the expand temporal rights that reduces local unrest and gives you more taxes because you will be dirt poor and you can become head of Reformed Church. This is a very good option too. Tier 5, there are not so many good options. If you want to stay a free city, there's another option available. But if you are already an oligarchy, go always for this governing capacity stuff that will help you to expand more easily. Tier 6, go for supremacy of the diet. Every time when an election happens, you get Republican tradition. This will help you to stay a republic. If you don't want that and you want to become a monarchy, you can always change. Tier 7, there is this nice new idea called Loquium Proviso, which gives us minus 5% dev cost reduction and more goods produced. That's already really good. Afterwards, it doesn't really matter anymore so much because you will be already the 16th, 17th century and you will be very, very, very strong. So guys, this is the end of my guide. I hope you enjoyed a little bit a different kind of guide from a one city HRE, free city minor, to something big like Prussia, and even form something like a Junker stratocracy. I think that is a very, very uncommon thing. Not everyone does that. And it opens a lot of different routes for you afterwards. You will have the Lange Hans guys around and you can beat and pummel everyone around as much as you like. So if you enjoyed this kind of video, please leave a comment behind. And of course, like my channel, subscribe it. I will create more crazy stuff like that. And I already have an idea like that again in my head. Who has not heard about the Ulmen Swabia? What do you think about that?